As the Pele Yoetz, we're up to the entry of Da'aga. K'tiv Da'aga belev ish yes hena. The pasuk says in Mishlei, when there's a worry in a man's heart, he should suppress it. You have to get rid of it. You have to take out that worry. And therefore, Chazal tell us, yesi hena mid'ato iname yesi hena la'harim. It means you should uproot it from your mind. If you have anxieties, take it out of your mind. If you can't do that, so then you should tell a very good friend who's going to keep your secret. You should tell him your problem. And when you say it to others, what? When you say it to others, it will help you overcome your anxiety. V'tarvayu itnehu. And both are useful, says the Pele Yoetz. שבתחילה ישתדל לשיחה מדעתו מחשבות טהורות טעונות מספיקות שיש ויש כדי לדחות הדאגה. First, a person should try thoughts of emunah and bitachon in order to get rid of his anxiety. And logical arguments, you should sit yourself down and say, why should I be concerned? Why should I worry like that? That's not a normal thing to worry about. And then what? If is not able to do that, then he's not able to shake off his own worries. He should go and speak to his friend, and therefore he'll give him proper advice. But who should he speak to? Any random person? No. He says, you should go to Torah scholars and men of great knowledge who can direct him with good counsel, give him good advice. What does it mean to have emunah? You go to somebody and say, Rabbi, give me emunah. How does he give you emunah? So he'll tell you a story, he'll tell you something the sages taught, but really what he'll tell you is advice. Advice. If you want to know what it means to have emunah, a person who has emunah does X, Y, Z. So you see that having emunah means to get good advice. And he will say things to him that will cause his fear, dissipate, and calm his heart and mind. But what do we do a lot of times? We keep to ourselves. We keep everything inside. And we're suffering by ourselves. And therefore what? We don't overcome the anxiety. And then we keep thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. And we say, I don't know, I'm embarrassed to say, I have to figure this out on my own. And then he gets scarred. He gets very damaged because of all his anxiety.
If you tell anything to the rabbi since then starts to look at you differently.
So that means you have to go to someone who's not going to do that. Okay, therefore, a person has to, if he doesn't have the bitachon in himself to overcome, he has to get somebody to rekindle his bitachon, to give him chizuk, to be able to overcome his anxiety. To be able to control your thoughts is also something that a person has to work on. A lot of times people say, Rabbi, I can't sleep at night, I'm tossing and turning, thinking of thoughts, I have a lot of anxieties, it's very hard for me to overcome them. Person has to make efforts to exercise his mind muscles and to be able to control his mind and to push out the bad thoughts. A lot of times, they say you can only have one thought at a time. Yeah, we have thousands of thoughts every day, but you can only in your mind have one thought at a time. So therefore, as long as you focus on having a good thought, then you remove the bad thought. Focus always to replace the bad thoughts with good thoughts. As if there's a pasuk, Esh tukat tamid al mizbeach. Right, they say you say this pasuk when you're having trouble having good thoughts, you're having bad thoughts, you should say this pasuk, and that will help you to remove the bad thought. But a person has to focus on using his muscles of his mind, quote unquote. Like the disciple of Gaon writes that alav shalom, a person should sit once in a while and close his eyes and imagine the letter Aleph in his mind. Imagine the picture of a letter Aleph and keep it in your mind for 5 seconds, that image of the Aleph, 10 seconds. Then eventually you grow, you do it for 30 seconds, you do it for 1 minute to train yourself what it means to control your thoughts. The person has to control his thoughts. So therefore, he says this is going to help overcome your anxiety. Kikvar amar hacham, havar ayin, hatid adayin, midaga minayin, kum shteyayin. Right? As the wise man once said, right? The Pele Yoetz quotes a nice saying they used to say that the past is gone. The future is not here yet. Why should you worry? Come and drink wine. But in Hebrew, it's nice and rhyming. Say, Ima davar kvar avar, ma yodaga ba'im yuchal yashivo. If something already happened, your anxiety about something happened, it already happened. What does it help to go and think about it? I made an investment in money, right? Oh, but what's going to be? I don't know. It's thinking 10,000 thoughts. 10,000 thoughts of anxiety is going to make your business more successful. You already gave the money, have emunah in Hashem, right? That's it. It's over, right? Or you lost money. Let's say you lost money in business. Okay, it is what it is. What, thinking about it again and again is going to bring it back? No, focus on the future. If something already happened and you suffered, now you're going to keep it in your mind and make your life a life of suffering, thinking the same thing. And if something is going to happen in the future, if there's something you could do to remedy the situation, do it. And if there's nothing to remedy the situation, what does it help to have anxiety? He should go and have full trust in the name of Hashem, rely on Hashem. So the famous saying, they say, you have a problem? So don't worry. You have a solution? Good. So you have a solution. So what do you have to worry? You have a problem? There's no solution? You did everything you could do? So leave everything on Hashem. What is else there to do? To sit here and be anxiety and to think, how? What is it going to help? It's just making yourself torture of your mind. Another principle you have to have in mind. Person has to pay attention to and believe nothing ever evil comes out from Hashemayim. You know, Yaakov Shweki read this. He made a song out of it, right? En davara yored min Hashemayim, right? So therefore, what is he? It's from the Pele Yoetz's words. The person has to remember nothing evil comes from heaven. And we remember the Gemara Masechet Brachot says, Kol Avi Rahmana L'Tavavid. Everything Hashem does is for the best. Either good for the soul or good for your body. And therefore a person should know Hashem wants you to be happy. And Hashem wants you to be successful. And Hashem wants you to fulfill your tikkun more than you want to. And therefore if He gave you the situation, it's for a reason. You don't see the good now, you're going to see the good later. But a person has to know it's halacha also. Shulchan Aruch Siman Reish Lamed Sif Hey also says, halacha, a person has to custom himself to always say, everything Hashem does is for the best. Therefore what? He says, sometimes a person sees it, right, and says, oh, thank you Hashem, you have saved me and you answered me and you became my salvation. But sometimes we don't know the reason why Hashem did it. And it remains hidden from you. And therefore what? Really, but really Hashem made you suffer a little bit in order to save you from death, to remove the gzerah, or to go and save you from the suffering of Gehenom a little bit. And therefore He made you suffer in this world. As the famous story goes, the Mashal.